Yo, what is going on, Steeler Nation? Welcome to episode 427 of the Steel Factory podcast. My name is Rion. I'm joined by my co-host Junior today.
What's up? What's up?
All right, Steelers Browns round 2 recap. Took the W this time, 10-3. Happy Victory Monday. First impressions on the game. Let's go.
I mean, we just look good. We took care of business. We look clean. Like everything about the game went basically how we thought it would, especially and that's especially promising after not having our best player on offense.
Yeah, no, this is how it should have went the first time around. I know we've kind of had some demons in Cleveland the last few years. We haven't been able to win there. And of course the snow game, and then it was a little iffy at first. We found out George Pickens wasn't a go after all. I think we recorded Thursday without any knowledge of this injury. It came up I think Friday in practice, and then I guess thing was he was going to test the hamstring in warm-ups. Didn't feel right about it, and they decided to not play him. He was inactive, and I guess the expectation now is that he won't be ready for Philly either. So something to monitor throughout the week, of course. But yeah, I mean, the offense did look shaky at first. I think it took a while to adjust to not having your best player. I know everyone was saying that the Browns were just going to stack the box, make us have to throw the ball, test all the other guys, and yeah, Mike Williams had a nice catch. Van Jefferson, he had a touchdown, right? Of course,
Yeah.
Frymouth got involved. Would have liked to see more out of Calvin Austin, but it is what it is. They just had him on a parlay. That's really what it was. But yeah, I mean, I guess what else before we get into like the play-by-play.
Najee had a good game. Warren had a good game. Cordero Patterson, looking his age, not his best game.
Yeah, that fumble got a little scary. I don't really know why we were running the ball, because I feel like it was like 3 consistent plays in a row where he just kept handing the balls. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, I mean, start off the game with a 3-and-out, and we're like kind of thinking like, all right, what the fuck's going on? I know we don't have Pickens, but offense looks shaky, and the defense just kind of asserted their dominance right from the start when we punted and we had them inside their own 20 or whatever. A couple plays that we blew up. I know Highsmith had a sack, and dude, we really have a 3-headed monster. Because I know when Highsmith was out, I was starting thinking like, dude, Herbig might be better than Highsmith. Like, he looks really good. We definitely have a rotation going on. He might be better than Highsmith. But dude, Highsmith comes back and like, dude, he's a stud too.
No, yeah. They're both those guys on that side of the ball are fantastic, dude. It's really nice to know that we can spot talent at probably the most important position in football right now, aside from quarterback, right?
Yeah.
Edge rusher is probably the most important position in football aside from quarterback. It's at least top 3, and we seem to be we have a knack for being able to develop and picking out these guys, right? And I hope we can get someone for the right side that can start, taking reps away from TJ, so that way we get a lot of, higher quality reps from him, and he's not,
Yeah.
because it seems like we don't really rotate him out too much.
I feel like that's by choice, but I know Herbig is able to play both sides. I know we got the guy from Green Bay for this kind of situation too, just to have the depth, which we saw when Highsmith was out. But yeah, overall, dude, these guys are fantastic.
No, really, like seriously, and I'm looking, not to get too ahead of ourselves, but some of the teams that are in the playoffs and winning by a lot of one-score games with Devil Magic, edge
No, not to
rushing,
name names, but yeah.
not scenarios, right? If there were a team like this, I think we have a lot of really good matchups to beat them.
Yeah. Um, yeah, so the Browns punted. They had a 3-and-out as well. I know we ended up with good field positions. They punted out of their own end zone. We got that field goal. I think we should have scored. Something happened. I think we had like a penalty that really just kind of fucked up the drive. And then Cleveland got the ball back and scored a touchdown, and we were kind of like, I know in the stadium, everyone was like, what the fuck, man? Here we go again with this bullshit. Yeah. And Russ had a couple bad passes too. I know it just looked like the offense was not really in a groove at all. I guess they were trying to figure it out as well. I know you kind of have guys like Mike Williams figuring out the offense. Basically got inserted into it right away. I know apparently Scotty Miller found out who was dressing an hour before when the inactives were announced too. Um,
Yeah, I mean that's part of it too, right? Like Pickens got hurt, or we found out that he was questionable on Friday, right? That's a really late injury. Usually when you find out guys are hurt on Fridays, and this is just from like being really keyed in on like fantasy and stuff. It's terrible, terrible vibes. Like it's like, oh wow, like he's not gonna play this week, or he's gonna be super limited. So that also kind of affects kind of all the practices that you just had with that player, right?
yeah,
If you go into a week knowing that you're not gonna have Pickens, then obviously all the guys that you plan on dressing that week, or everyone kind of works into that new role that they have to fit into, all right?
yeah,
But if all of a sudden Friday afternoon you find out like, oh, our whole offense is going to change because he is a lot of our offense, yeah, I'm not surprised we came out looking,
flat,
really,
really, yeah.
really flat. But obviously, like fantastic signs that we were able to pick it up and get back into a rhythm and had a good game.
Yeah, I know. We punted like on the next like 34 possessions or whatever. And yeah, it took that Keanu Ben interception to really kind of get us going. We had good field positions and we were able to get a touchdown there. I think that might have been the Van Jeff. No, that was a Najee running touchdown. So yeah, good to see Najee getting involved. I know we really needed that because we were down 7-3. I think we're already in the second quarter, and it was just kind of like we need something to happen. And yeah, the pass rush came through, and Penn was able to get a fucking pick. Um, and then yeah, dude, how about fucking Boswell? And I know it was funny because the Browns kicker missed like a 35 yarder right before Boswell just drilled that 55 yarder on the opposite side, dude. Because I know that's the end too. That Tucker missed 2 field goals in the Ravens game, and I know I don't even know the Browns kicker. Yeah, he missed 2 field goals too. That honestly should have been automatic, dude. How great are we? Like, it's so good having Boswell, dude.
It is having a guy that like anything like 55, almost basically 60 and under, with like decent conditions, you feel like automatic,
Right.
right? I know. I think the last one he missed was in that snow game, but like I think it was also from like 48 or something. And that was, that game. You can throw out basically everything about that game. So having
Yeah.
having a guy like Boswell who's making a run for best kicker in the league, uh, it's incredible, right?
Yeah. And nothing cheap about it, dude. Like he's automatic, and there's also nothing cheap about these wins, dude. Like, but I mean, like, we're not winning off field goals in the last second, right? I mean, that time will probably come, but yeah, it's good to be confident in our kicker when that time will come. You know what I mean? Um, fucking goalpost. I can't get over that shit, dude. Dude, the fucking Chiefs, bro. Um, But yeah, good to have Boswell on. And then yeah, I just really felt like we kind of just took over once the second half started, right? Um,
Definitely.
Russ put together some good drives. You had I don't know when that pass was to Mike Williams. That was an awesome catch, one handed. Like you said it too at the start. Like Mike Williams has like an ultimate highlight reel of like these amazing catches, one handed, toe
Yeah.
tap stuff like that. You just kind of put it up. You got to put it up to him.
No, yeah, dude. Mike Williams is a perfect receiver for us.
Yeah,
Like almost like ideal. Like if you made a receiver for us, like it would be Mike Williams.
yeah,
Just he just gets anything you throw at him. Like probably the best like high catch point guy in the league. Obviously not like insane production, but he comes down with balls and that's what we need.
yeah. I think the production will get there. Just another weapon to have. Of course, gotta add the depth. And you don't know when you're gonna get into a shootout like we did last week against the Bengals, but get Mike Williams more acclimated into the offense, and that'll be another threat. But yeah, no, Russ, like the way he was just kind of maneuvering the pocket also too on the 2 touchdowns he had. I know one of them was by design, to kind of like sidearm it to Van Jefferson off like the play action. That was a really nice play. But then also the way he was kind of, everyone was talking about this on the timeline. Kind of he looked off the safety. It was just kind of textbook. Took another step, repositioned himself, drilled it to Fryer move. Amazing. And also too, the red zone offense looks a lot better, right?
It does. It does look a lot better. Like yeah, like Russ is Russ is doing a lot of things right when he's passing the ball in the red zone.
Yeah.
Like we're looking off a lot of guys. We're kind of getting guys in a really good like leverage situations, right, where they can be like, yeah, we're just getting guys in really good spots finally, and it feels like it's starting to feel easy in the red zone. And I think, that just goes back to, Tomlin talking about how over the bye week he needed to basically reevaluate how we approach the red zone offense. And it looks like, again, like, just a testament to the coaching staff that we've got going and Arthur Smith, really getting into a flow, and Russ, like, finally, like, Russ is cooking, dude. And Arthur
Yeah.
Smith is putting him in a really great spot all the time.
Yeah, because they look a little shaky coming off that Ravens game where we didn't score a touchdown, and then there was always the question marks too because we kind of struggled in the red zone against the Giants. We had a lot of field goals. Washington, I think we only scored from outside the red zone. I think Cleveland that first half too was pretty terrible in the red zone as well. Yeah. Besides that, yeah, you bring up a good point about the coaching staff. Like it's no coincidence that we just kind of turn it on in the second half because we're making crazy adjustments, probably, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. Like, I know I've seen a lot of like coaches talk about how you don't really know your team till like middle to end of October.
Yeah.
And I know we're past that point, but I feel like we had an even longer adjustment period just because we had a month of Fields, so
Not like 5, 6
uh,
games, right? Fuck.
yeah, longer than that. But so yeah, we had a good chunk of time with Fields, so I feel like that time of us getting to know ourselves as a team has got him pushed back. And I think the last like 3 weeks, finally after a month with Russ, 3 weeks ago, we really started to kind of get into our game,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. We're looking really solid. I know a lot of analysts now, like who fucking Tony Romo saying that we look like a really complete team. And yeah, I mean, I guess it's not really a secret now that we're kind of a contender. Crazy to say that, but here we are in December, and yeah, we do seem like a legit contender. Um, I think we'll be a top three seed for sure. I know we just got to win one more game to clinch the division. That game being the Ravens game, of course. Um, I know we saw the Bills drop yesterday too, which was good for us to be able to kind of move up in the standings as well on the ultimate playoff seedings. Obviously, the Chiefs. If we want the one seed, we gotta beat the Chiefs, and we need help. Another team has to beat the Chiefs too.
Yeah.
We're not thinking that far ahead though. We got Philly this week. Again, we'll dive into it on Thursday. But before we start talking about like the other games, whatever, dude, how about Cam Hayward, dude? This guy had what 2 sacks yesterday too. I know everyone's saying that he's playing like an All Pro level, might even be his best season yet. Um, dude, I'm glad we got that contract done. I know it was kind of whatever about it.
Definitely.
The money wasn't insane, but it was just kind of like, all right, 3 more years. This guy's 35, but dude, he's eating.
No, definitely. I think on Hard Knocks they talked about how, I don't know if it was Hard Knocks or like maybe like some other clip I saw. He had like a bunch of pictures on his phone of like tweets talking about how, like, why are we doing this? Like, he's washed, like, it's over, he's old. I know I definitely floated the idea of like, man, should we trade Cam Hayward and just tank? Because I
Uh,
I don't think we have like what it takes. But obviously, like, I was wrong, right? Like I didn't expect us to be able to turn this team around the way that we have. I thought we'd be going into more of a long rebuilding, hopefully, Lions-esque arc of rebuilding this team. Um, but here we
yeah,
are. We turned it around just in a couple of years, especially, and it helps a ton that guys like Cam Hayward are having some of their best seasons. That we already have a fantastic defense with a bunch of All Pros, and that we're getting fantastic quarterback play out of Russ.
yeah. So like, I mean the overall consensus that we're getting to here is that we're legit now. I mean, we were kind of like questioning it after we dropped that Browns game, but yeah, it's clear that weather's played a factor, weather conditions played a factor. We saw that Browns team also beat the Ravens a few weeks before. And yeah, I mean, Browns came here and we kind of whooped their ass. I think at one point it was 27-7 before they got that garbage time touchdown. Um, and then again, we had like opportunity to score at the end. I know we kneeled like inside the 5 yard line. So, dude, it's a good time. It's a good time. The vibes do feel good. I mean, even inside the stadium, everyone kind of had like this, this good confidence going into it. no one was really like kind of like nervous going in. Of course, they got a little antsy when the Browns came out and made it 7-3, but dude, like you could definitely tell like the city is really like into it, and they definitely feel that we have a fucking chance to fucking make it
Yeah.
around here.
No, yeah, it's been a long time for Steeler fans, man, since like we felt like we're a real team. I know like I know like just the last 5 years have been like if we start like getting behind, it's over.
Yeah,
And I think we're all a little bit traumatized, so to speak, about like about those kinds of situations, and we're turning it around, dude. It's different. Like we're a different team.
yeah, and
So it's crazy.
this contract's gonna get done though, right? For Russ, I mean, who knows
I think
how
so.
much money it's gonna be, but it's kind of like by the day, and not just him proving it. We've obviously heard like analysts or the insiders say that the idea is they're gonna bring back Russ. No idea how much money it's gonna be yet. I know the Steelers usually do a good job at keeping the cap hits, team friendly deals pretty much. Then you're seeing it on Hard Knocks, dude. Tomlin looks like the ultimate guy to play for. I know Russ really likes Tomlin the way he's talked about him too, dude. So I mean, I'm not sitting here begging and predicting Russ is gonna take a team friendly deal, but I feel like the Steelers Russ needed the Steelers as much as the Steelers have needed Russ this past year to kind of like fucking turn this team around, right? From basically average to elite within one fucking offseason.
No, yeah, it's definitely like a match made in heaven with Arthur Smith and Russ, and obviously like Tomlin, being a great personality for Russ to kind of bounce off of. So I think we do see a deal get done this offseason. As to like how much and how long, hopefully it's something. Russ is good, but he's not as good as he was,
I don't want to pay
and
more than 45 million a year. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
we
and I don't
have
want to. I'm not ready to sign on for 4 more years of Russ after this. Like
right
I'm still looking
two
to like,
three.
you know, if we get a rookie quarterback and Russ is a guy that's kind of taking him under his wing, like I
Yeah,
think that's a fantastic kind of place. I think, obviously like Russ and Fields have a really good relationship, and
yeah.
you see like Russ being really encouraging of Fields. So I think that's like a fantastic role for Russ to slide into eventually.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what his timeline is. I don't know if it's full of shit where he's like, "Oh, I'm playing into my 40s." We'll see about that, dude, but I mean, he looks good. I know, like, as far as, like the analytics, whatever, the QBR, stuff like that, like, this might be one of his better seasons yet. I know when they did what was it the other day? I sent if you would have projected this 5-6 game stretch over a 17 game period, he'd be like over like 4,300 yards, only like 4 interceptions, and we'd be like 14-3 or whatever. I mean, we'll see once we get there. But yeah, dude, it's exciting. It's exciting.
No, it definitely is. Like if we get Russ, like another year and we get a similar level of play and we add a couple of pieces,
Yeah.
we add another wide receiver, hopefully a first round talent, or we sign, you know, one of the tier one free agents like T Higgins, throwing a name out there, right? Like he's just a
Yeah.
free agent that I know, but obviously like a great player. Um, like T Higgins would actually be a really good fit, but uh,
Oh
but
my god.
anyway, I think not just this year, but I think next year we can fill a lot of holes. We're looking really complete.
Yeah.
It's one of our healthier seasons in a while. We've had to manage some injuries here and there, but I mean, obviously like Highsmith and Pickens and stuff. But
I mean, I
it's
mean,
feeling
I
really
mean, dude,
complete.
hold up. Our O line is not the O line we had at the start of the year, dude. Actually, when you think
Oh my
about it,
God,
dude, our O
you're
line's
right.
completely different. We've had injuries. We're missing our first rounder from literally this year. We're missing James Daniels, who was probably our best O lineman the last 3 years too. We're not starting the guy we had in center at the beginning of the fucking training camp too. Zach Frazier they
No,
probably wanted to
definitely,
wait on Zach Frazier.
dude. We're looking up, man. We're trending up in a lot of places, and it's exciting. It's exciting. Like I think this year and next year are going to be really, really good seasons of Steeler football with like a finally competent offense.
Yeah, man. Yeah. They're saying we look well rounded on all three phases. We look good. We look like a true contender. we could win in a shootout. We could win in these fucking grueling, close defensive games like you saw against the Ravens. But yeah, dude, I mean, it's exciting times. Again, just it was good to kind of just take care of business yesterday. Kind of see us win in an easy fashion. Yeah, dude. But this is really the start of this really tough stretch now. This 3 games in 10 days. Yeah, we'll be getting out these episodes whenever we can during this time. It is also the holidays too. But yeah, dude. I mean, we'll talk about Philly on Thursday. I'm really excited for this game. It's a game we don't usually win. It's one that we probably had marked as a loss when the schedule came out, just because we don't win in Philly. But I'm glad to know that Russ is actually 6-0 against the Eagles. Yeah, I mean, we'll get into the stats of that nature on Thursday. But yeah, any other closing thoughts, dude?
No, future's bright. Maybe not this next week, but future's bright.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Leave a rating on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And yeah, peace out. Here we go, Steelers 10-3. Sounds pretty good to me.